record. I see you're joining us from Deerfield Beach.
Yes, I am. I snuck out of the office though, and I came home.
No worries, no worries. I'm in DC today. I'm headed to Riyadh. Where's Riyadh? Saudi Arabia tomorrow.
Yeah, I see you're a busy traveler.
Yeah, but many years ago, I used to work for the health department down in Copans Road, off of 95 in Copans Road, for the Broward County Health Department. So I was always in Deerfield.
Awesome.
Beach.
I'm a northern Floridian. I'm from Flagler Beach originally, but before I worked for DataBlockChain, I did some other crypto things, but about 5 or 6 years ago, when I first started discovering crypto and understanding mining and all that, it was when I was a software engineer advisor for Florida Gulf Coast University. So I would get a lot of the graduates there to come and work. I worked in the pharma space. I worked with a company called Value Centric. We do a lot of big data for a lot of the major pharmaceutical manufacturers. That Value Track platform does like 7 billion data points, and it measures pharmaceutical supply chain from the manufacturer, distributor, all the way down the zip code level. So I started doing a lot with data back then. I started to understand crypto, possible use cases for blockchain, obviously, supply chain stuff. A lot of these undergrads were miners, and they had Litecoin, and all those things. So I began to get an understanding of it, and it was something that I just thought that this new generation of blockchain and the internet, and the value of it, and instant value transfer, all those things are really they're really going to change how people hold and transfer money, right?
Yeah. So tell me, since you're at a startup, your company's a startup, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What is the startup ecosystem like in South Florida?
It's robust. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Even 5 or 10 years ago, it was really a strong area of the country, I felt, and now there's a lot of things going on with crypto in the space. There's a lot of schools down here that are producing really good talent, and it just seems like this is a hot spot in the country.
What is the investment environment like in South Florida?
It's strong. We've done real well. DataBlockChain has with private interest. This has kind of been my first venture where there's a lot of interest from private investors as well. But it's an area of the country, I think, that understands it understands the way I guess the way our society is starting to evolve through technology, and I think a lot of that innovation is being done down here.
Cool. So you're getting interest from the private sector in DataBlock. So give us their 60-second pitch of DataBlock. What DataBlock does?
Well, DataBlockChain does. We're a little bit different than a normal ICO or crypto startup. We already have a lot of partnerships in place. We work with a company called Media Direct. They have over 4 billion records already in the space. They're very prominent country with some of the bigger Forbes vendors. So automatically in our ecosystem, we have all this data. And then we have other partners who are adding on to that. So we're constantly adding data to our ecosystem. But on the other side, the user side, and I know that you're a big component of this, you need people to use your blockchain, right? I mean, that's, I think that's the next evolution here in the space. And so we have a partnership with a company called AppsBar. And that is a really cool application where you can build your own mobile app, right? So you've got these 2 million entrepreneurs on this platform that are going to be ready to use our product once we launch our production, in the second quarter of 2019. So we really already have this ecosystem in place, right? So I think that kind of sets us a little bit above, what's going on now in the space.
So you're going to launch in 2019 in the second quarter. That's I don't know, it's like roughly 9 months away. You're about to have a baby in 9 months, right? What is your business doing to engage those 2 million startups who don't even know you exist yet?
Well, we have an MVP now where you can query 100 million records. Say you have your own digital startup. You're a e-commerce site and you sell to a specific niche market. Well, you can go to our MVP and you can query 100 million records in about 2 seconds. We have about 500 different selects of all this data where you can really get down to that real target audience that you're looking for. And before in the space, it's been really hard for the small businesses and the mid-sized businesses to get a hold of this type of data, right? It's cost prohibitive. There's middlemen, there's a lot of vendors that only sell these huge record sets, that are 6 figures in cost. So we're really that first platform where a one-stop shop where the small time or mid-sized business can go and really find the target audience they need to grow their business online.
Cool. So as we wrap up in the next 30 seconds, tell people where they can find you or where they can find more information about your company.
Sure. Our ICO is going on now. We raised 16 million during our pre-sale. We're right now at about 20 million we've raised so far. And you can buy the tokens. You can read all about the company, our white paper, everything I've talked about at datablockchain.io. And our MVP, you can go there and test it right now. Check your market segment. See the data that we have at. That's at. Oh boy, where is that?
Take your time. I'll post the link there at the bottom. Last question. So when you raised your 16 million in your pre-sale, through what regulatory scheme did you do that?
Well, we have a Reg D 506C. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We have a crowdfunding platform. We have a lot of interest overseas too. A lot of international interest.
Cool. So you opted for a Reg D for accredited investors. And you maybe threw in a Reg S for all the international folks who wanted to get in touch with you.
Yes, that's correct. And it's dbc.io. That's where the MVP is.
DBC.
It's on DataBlockChain.io, yes, as well. And we're revamping that now. Now there's 100 million records there, but our next version, which should come out in a week or so, is going to have more billion or 2 billion records to test out and demo.
Cool. Well, thanks very much, Jess. I'm going to hit pause on that recording. And I just wanted to thank you for taking 5 minutes to do a quick recording.